Welcome to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Take 2. Struggling tonight. It's just me again. Gonna bring you guys a quick episode. Uh, Last week was a big week. It was week 2 of the playoffs. Cameron, who could have reset the league, lost to AJ. Clark, who had one crazy, terrible team arc, riding the playoffs, lost to Mickey B. He had a chance last week. Watching the very end of that game, just needed Ayuk or whoever else was on, Debo, to get a touchdown right there at the end and a PAT, and he would have pulled it out against Mike. But Mike won. It's going to be Mike and AJ this week for championship. Mike with the ability to reset the league if he wins. Cameron and Clark will be playing for third place, and Taylor and myself will be playing for the consolation bracket championship for 7th place with the opportunity, drum roll, to name Steve's team. Steve has the honors of being the last place team this year. Through all the struggles, Steve, you earned it. I'm proud of you. I think you're going to do the presentation a lot of justice this year, and we wish you the best. We know you'll be better than Orscheln, just like my team was last week against him. So we believe in you. But I want to get going on this week. Will League Reset happen? I'm going to break down 3 games this week. We got AJ and Mike going to break down the 3rd place game against Clark and Cameron, and I'll break down the 7th place game. Those are really the only games that have any significance this week at any capacity, so there'll be quick breakdowns. I'm going to talk briefly about what to expect in the coming weeks with this podcast, just so you guys are aware of my plan. I will say a lot of it's going to depend on if we do have League Reset or not as to what the topics will be. And then I also want to hear from you guys what you would like to hear in the coming weeks. So, first, I'm going to share my screen here. If I could remember the button. There we go. So, these were the scores from last week, real quick, from week 16. Yeah, man, Mike, Clark, that was a tight match. We tried beating the albino magic, some would call it, but Mike outlasted. And, well, joke's on us. Cameron, you had a good team this year. It's fortunate for us that you've lost last week. AJ, your team showed up last week, played well, was, well, outside of Little Josh, the best team. Little Josh, you know when to win when it does not matter. And Taylor had a big win against Drew there in the consolation bracket. We all thought Taylor was going to be fighting for last place, but here he is with the possibility of naming Steve's team. And then, quickly, I stomped Orscheln. Told him it was going to happen. I'm better. He knows it. We all know it. Moving on to this week. I'm going to start with the 7th place game against me and Taylor. I'm going to go and pull up this matchup here. So, obviously, I'm recording this episode after the Thursday night game. Man, Cleveland, that is one heck of a team right now. But the Jets showed up, at least fantasy-wise, for Taylor. Breece Hall probably had his best game of the season. Go figure. Already starting off with 23 points. And then Garrett Wilson, 7.4. Respectable. I mean, it at least wasn't a zero burger. But looking at this, as of right now, live projection, I'm still projected to beat Taylor by 6 points, even after those 2 players. I think this week I'm actually projected the highest currently. I could be wrong, but my running backs got hot at the right time. Having Cook, Taylor, and then Zeke, because Stevenson is out, has helped my team a lot. But just breaking this down, player by player, position by position. Quarterback, I'd say I am beating that with Jalen Hurts. Whenever it comes to wide receivers, I'm going to give myself the edge now because Garrett Wilson only got 7.4 points. I think there's a lot of upside with mine. Yes, Taylor has Justin Jefferson. He could have a big game, but I don't know what to expect with the quarterback there. That's going to be hit or miss. I think a 16.77 projected score for Jefferson is quite generous. I don't think it's going to get it. Running backs, I might have the best running backs combo in the league currently because of either trades or injuries. Cook's been doing amazing. Taylor has returned to form, and I believe Zach Moss is out this week. Tight end, honestly, with how Schultz has been doing, it's a coin flip. But I might give myself the edge just a little bit because I believe, Stroud is back this week. Kicker, that's a coin toss. And then defense, is San Fran going to rebound against Washington after the beatdown that they got from Baltimore? I think they will, and Washington is changing up with their quarterback, so maybe I'll get a touchdown or two from the defense. So I'm going to give the edge to me. Taylor's off to a good start, but he's going to need to do a whole lot more in order to win, and I don't think he's going to have enough gas. Going to go to the third place game because there is money involved with this one, and that will be against Clark and Cameron. Clark, you have no business winning. Been saying that all week, but who knows? You may find a way to win. Looking at this, I mean, I don't know if it's quite across the board, but I think across the board, I'd give Cameron the players. So quarterback, yes, goes to Cameron. Wide receivers, I'm going to say Cameron. Running backs, sorry, if you have McCaffrey, you're more than likely going to have the better running backs. Tight end, I'm going to give it to Clark just because likely could just have a huge game. He has home run potential compared to Ferguson. Flex, coin flip. I'll give it. I think Reed will have a bigger game. I think a divisional game. Even though it's at Minnesota, I think divisional game you'll have it with Reed. Kickers, coin toss, defense. Probably give it to Cameron, but not by a whole lot. I think Cameron's going to win this week. His team should win this week. A lot of it's going to come down to Lamar Jackson and McCaffrey for him, though. So if they have bad weeks, I think Clark can take it. Clark, your team generally has been going over its projection. It will again. You might get to 100 points, but I think Cameron's team is going to show up big this week, and it'll be a non-factor. So, and then the big one, Mickey B against AJ. So before this game took place, I had AJ winning. I think I still do. Man, Cleveland, though. And then Mickey B leaving Joe Flacco on the bench. That would have been a tough play to play Flacco against the Jets because Jets do have a good defense. And Stafford playing against the Giants is very, well, I probably would have done the same thing, but I hope Joke will be on Mike and he plays the wrong quarterback. But looking at this, I mean, it's really a coin flip at this point in time. With Mike's tight end already having almost 20 points. Getting bonus, by the way. Jeez. Already almost has 20 points. I think live projection, yeah, Mike's projected to win by half a point at the moment. Looking at this, let's see. Oh, wow. All of Mike's players will be done after the noon games on Sunday. AJ, he'll have a kicker Sunday night. Otherwise, all the players are playing at noon. I have a feeling we're going to have a good idea after the game tomorrow night with Cowboys and Lions if AJ's going to have a shot at winning this. I could see this being a high-scoring game. Both Cowboys and Lions, this is a big game for them. Cowboys are playing at home, so that bodes well for CeeDee Lamb. I do think CeeDee Lamb's going to get more than his projected. Amon St. Brown, I could see him getting less. Kyron Williams, he's going to blow it up. I think Barkley's going to get his projected score. Goddard, I think he's going to get his projected score, if not more. More with Fields. Man, he was kind of hobbled last week. I think you'll have a big game, especially against Atlanta. I don't know. This is just a tough one. Mike playing Pierce this week. I don't know who else Mike would play. Mike at running back is hurting. What did Pierce even get last week? Let's look here. Pierce got 11.58 points. He only had 3 rushing attempts. But he had enough to get points. Where did he get his touchdown at? I can't see here. Man, I don't know. Based on what we did last week, Pierce would probably get more than 3.66, but that's hard to say. So, I'm going to give it to AJ. Mike could definitely win this game. He's been winning all year. Mike has only lost 2 games. Brown and Hill, I'm pretty sure they did not put up great numbers last week. One could say that they're due. So, this game's going to come down to a lot. But I think if Fields and Moore has a big game, AJ's going to win. If Brown and Hill have a big game, it's going to go to Mike. Give it a coin toss, but I think AJ's going to win it. AJ, I hope you win it. Leave it at that. Mike, get wrecked. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, that's what I have for matchups. Real quick, a few other things before I end this episode. So, in the coming weeks with this podcast, I do plan on having episodes every week. They may be short episodes. Hopefully, I could get Ben back on here. Just the month of December has been busy. It's either one thing or another with either family, just planned events, whether it's with work, etc. You guys know how it is. Everybody's busy. But I do plan on doing episodes every week. If we have league reset, there'll be a lot of topics regarding that. And I'll start explaining how I'm going to want that to look. Because my goal is if we do have league reset by the NFL draft, we have everything in place of how the league is going to look like come next year. So that way that could just be done at that point. If we don't have league reset, we'll probably talk a whole lot about the NFL playoffs, projections. Hope to bring a lot of you guys on. We'll do week by week. We might even do just actual NFL breakdowns of games. I don't know yet, but I do ask that you guys let me know what you'd like to hear us talk about or want us to talk about. And yeah, guys, I think that's it. Final week of the season. This podcast has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Will continue to enjoy it because I will continue doing this as long as you guys enjoy it and want it. I'd say it's probably because of AJ and Steve tonight is why I mustered up the courage just to knock this episode out tonight. So it's but been a long week, long night, and yeah, I think I'm ready for the holiday to be over. But yeah, that's all I got. Guys, as always, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.